Hi besties, hi bunnies. Coffee's cold, truce brewing, let's hit the road. Just Machado wheeling hand, time to unfold. Early light breaks, coffee chilling in my grip. Hi besties, hi bunnies, join the trip. Cruising mass highway, spilling secrets for hours. 1 to 3 deep, no holds barred, owning our power. Squad's got my back, riding waves through the storm. Besties and bunnies, keeping it warm. Got that wild spark, singing random and free. Keeping the vibe alive, just you and me. Trolls creeping in, haters twisting the feet. Weak shots flying, but they can't plant the seed. Jabbing in my style, my fire, my rise. Obsessed in the shadows, watching with jealous eyes. Drama stirrers calling grift, but facts don't lie. While y'all fume, my lights touching the sky. Reddit ghosts lurking, basement critique so low. Keep throwing shade, watch this bunny glow. Meow, 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 meow. Hey. Meow, 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 feel it now. Bunny. Just Machado show, chasing down the real. Besties and bunnies got that unbreakable seal. Meow, 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 trolls fade away. Truth in the air, lighting up the day. After dark or dawn's first gleam, we claim the throne. Justice rolling, meow, if you're in the zone. Meow, meow.
Love to my besties trolls.
See your truth awaits. Just Machado show. Buckle up. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Feel it now. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Feel it now. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Feel it now. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Bunnies.
Good morning. Good morning. Just prior to that song ending, I received an audio clip from Auntie Deb, and I didn't know if it was relevant to the show. He sent it a half hour ago, so I didn't know. I didn't see it. Turns out he was doing a members only live and was like saying, I don't care if you go live while I'm still live. And I was like, he's like, okay, LTL. Good morning. I mean, what do you want from me? I'm not really in a great mood. Who knows? By the time I get my coffee, maybe that'll change. It's straw at Society Friday, so who knows? It's finally Friday. Thank you so much to the bestie who made my avatar pick for today. It is a bunny, Annie. Also, I want to say good morning to all of Skip's crew. Apparently, everybody over there listens to 24 on 24 and they love it. We are West Coast adjacent. And so, good morning to our dear friend Skip, who it looks as if today, probably today, he will be under 300 pounds. Not like like, I would normally not talk about people's weight journey, although in a moment I'm going to be talking about mine. But I think he's lost 30 pounds since he's been in isolation for 2 months. It's a very fascinating situation going on over there. I pop in several times a day and just observe and lurk and watch and see what's going on. What does one do when they are isolated in a room for 365 days? And so it's interesting, as you know, it's the isolation year on YouTube. Our friend Skip, he's trying to change his life by isolating for a year to get his mind and body right. And I discovered this project just before he started and introduced the besties and bunnies to this. And I think it's wonderful that people check in on him, and it's great. And he can, sometimes I just have it going on in the background. So there's that. So good morning to everybody that's part of Skip's isolation year crew, including isolation year wife and isolation year daughter. Second, I heard that Kirk Minahan is coming back today for a show. Essentially what he did was he canceled his show just so he could come on whenever he wants. And so he's basically like, fuck a schedule. I don't want a schedule. I'm gone. Peace out. And then he's like, okay, I feel like coming on today. And so everybody in the KMS Kirk Minahan show world's dicks start tingling, and they all start getting ready for whatever will be, will be. I miss Kirk's voice and his angry tone, and so I will listen for that reason. But that's very exciting whenever he blesses the community with hot, new, rich content. So there's that. Getting that out of the way. Next. I am trying to lose weight up against all odds with the depletion of hormones and menopause, and also not being in the best shape prior to menopause, and also not exercising like when I used to. I always refer to the time of the Howie Carr show as me being in the best, not physical shape, because I was still always a thick girl, but every number in my blood work was amazing at that time. I didn't have this stomach situation going on. And I was walking, for sometimes 5 days a week, 5 miles, and running even at the end of it. So the Howie Carr days, I looked my best, I felt my best, and I'm not there, obviously. And that was before menopause. That being said, my daughter is getting married in June, and so I am trying to lose a little bit of weight. I'm not going to crunch numbers with you, but I have changed some eating habits. Yesterday, my husband and I went out because he is looking to buy a couple of things for our vacation, which is a week from this coming Sunday. And we chose to get McDonald's, and I had one cheeseburger, and my stomach has not been right since then. I should not have eaten it. And my stomach feels disgusting and gross. So I have just been drinking bottles of water since last night. And I hate it. And so I don't know. I'm hoping I can get a coffee this morning and the rest of whatever is left inside my body exits, and I can go back to this piece, because my stomach is in turmoil over a fucking cheeseburger. And I'm so mad about it. Whatever. I'm assuming that can be interpreted as a good sign that we've kind of changed some things and our tum-tum doesn't care about that stuff, but what the fuck? So anyway, so there's that. Fourth, because I wasn't feeling well, Jeffrey obliged me in picking up Georgia from Sonic last night. And wouldn't you know it, she came in the door. I was stretched out on the couch on my tummy because it hurt, like lying flat like a mummy. And I was like, hi. And she goes, hi. And I went, oh my God, how was work? And she was like, it was good. And I was like, wait, and you have food? And she's like, yeah, I ordered it beforehand. I was like, okay. I was like, and any problems with the people there? No, no problems. And so you had a good shift. She had a good shift. An actually good shift with no problems, didn't get locked out, got her food on time. I can't believe it. We may have crossed the threshold. Are we in the clear? No. Who knows? But Georgie had a good day at work, and I wanted to share that with all of you because I know how much you're thinking about her. Now, we will still put aside Jimmy's whole thoughts, which is the world is too harsh for baby Georgia and we have to get her to quit. But for now, we're okay. Georgia has also she got her second paycheck today, and she is upset because it was less than the first paycheck by $30. And I said, oh, it was because they let you go a half hour early. No. Because of the school vacation, she worked 2 extra hours. And her original paycheck was for 2 hours more. And now this paycheck is for 2 hours less. She is upset about that and really wants the $240 paycheck instead of the $214 paycheck. And so she is upset about that because that means it's less money for her to spend. She splits her paycheck in half and puts half in a savings account, and she was unhappy with what was in her checking account. She went to Chili's with her boyfriend the other night, and she paid for the first time since they've been dating since last year, and she is already starting to feel what it is like to be a consumer and spend money and earn, and she's stressed out about it. So we came up with a plan. I said, you can't work later on Sundays because of school, which is what you're missing because on that day you did work later, but you can work earlier on Sundays. So why don't you just tell your boss, hey, if you are looking for someone to come in a little early on Sundays, I can come in at 2 instead of 4. And we usually are home on Sundays, so it wouldn't matter if she took a little extra time. And so she agreed that was a good idea. And so that's the plan. Just to work today, I have been tasked with getting her a different long-sleeved black shirt to wear underneath her regular shirt. Apparently she only has one, and the other one is a good school shirt, so she needs another one. So I will be going to Walmart to get her another shirt. There's that. Lastly, everything, I reworked the merch store yesterday. I figured out how to arrange the items on the website in a way that I liked, because they kind of clustered them together and they were looping all the 24 and 24 merch together, and I didn't like that. Turns out like Shopify has a default setting when you add merch, and if you want to change it, you've got to create your own collection and then delete the other one. I didn't know. It's a learning thing. So now I've got it and it looks exactly how I want it to look, and I'm very happy with that. And so the merch store is essentially done with how it's going to look. Oh, this person, what are you doing? Okay. It looks how I want it to look. I'm happy with that. Right. And then we added some new merch, including a cropped buddy hoodie, which everybody seems to like. Not a knockoff of the Black Dog hoodies, but kind of like a Black Dog hoodie. It's called the New England Bunny Crew. The description of that says, a simple New England style crew neck sweatshirt you can wear at the beach or to crash a wedding down the Cape, whichever. Lots of different colors. Let's get a coffee. I also added a Good Morning Ben Rosa black coffee mug and stickers, like vinyl stickers. It has the Horizon Social Chart voting member sticker 24 and 24. Thank you for choosing society. What can I get for you today? Can I do a large iced white chocolate pistachio made with whole milk?
Anything else?
That's it.
$7.49.
Thank you. A Beaver Moon ceremony sticker, the new Bunny After Dark logo, and then just the bun. I have a couple of more things I need to add and I need to fix. But that's it. It looks great. I think it's great. You must think it's great because overnight we sold over $5,000 worth of merch in 24 hours, a little over 24 hours. Now, I understand we're not going to sell that kind of merch every single solitary day, but we sold $5,000 worth of merch in a day or two. And I'm happy about that, and I'm grateful and thankful. I have already seen like many of the original orders that came on day one have already been fulfilled. They have tracking numbers. I can't be more happy with the Shopify situation. Everything is moving smoothly. Everything looks like there's no issues. The only thing is I just don't know based on shipping if things will be here before the meet and greet, but that wasn't part of like trying to get it going. It just happened to be when I was able to start this. So we'll see. I actually should check my tracking numbers and see when they're going to come. So you can find the merch at Bestie's headquarters. Hold on. bestieheadquarters.com. I cannot pin it right now because I have my other phone, but I don't know if I can do it from there. Let me take a second. I'll try. bestieheadquarters.com is where you can get the merch. This line is moving fast, so give me a second. I'm good. How are you today? Thank you. Yeah, it's a straw tip. Straws on Fridays, but I did have it yesterday. Yeah. I drink it faster with the straw, so.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I don't have anything to compare it to in regards to merch. I don't talk like money with other content creators. So I don't know what that looks like. But I'm happy with that. I said, thanks so much.
Okay.
Thank you, you too. I had set a goal of $2,000 worth of merch. That was my goal. And obviously we blasted through that. And so I'm thrilled. I'm happy. I'm grateful. Thank you. Enjoy your merch. Also, let's get some feedback after you get these items. If we need to adjust or change things, we can do that. Okay? All right. Next, fairy godmother Linda has secured a new vacation location. And she did it. I had no doubt. She is extremely, she is a high functioning member of society. And I had no doubt that she would be able to pivot from her 2 years long planned Egyptian vacation with her family to something else. Although I am sure she has pains of disappointment on not going on where she wanted to, but she has picked a new location, secured tickets, hotels, and all of the things. So I think she's leaving this weekend, and so I'm very relieved. I was stressed for her and sad, but you know, wars playing during wartime. But we are going to live our best life and just do it, and that's it. I was already looking for an excuse. You need the condo, Linda? Linda, you need to go to Pensacola. You need to take your property over with your family. Happy to tap out. TT would probably riot. Anyway, so there's that. Happy to report that. Let me think. Was there anything else? I don't have a wartime update yet. Christy Nome got fired. That's interesting. I'm not going to talk politics and go that deep. Egypt, Pensacola, what's the difference? I'm still lingering that I fucked up and overslept yesterday and forgot to call into Phil from the K-Zone's morning show on the radio. I feel such guilt. I suck, but I blame the staying up so late on Bun Bun, and it was just not good. So there's that. I'm literally just going through a list, and I don't need to write it down. All of these things are in my mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next thing. Coach K Swizzle, who's usually in the chat, good morning if you're listening, informed me that we have a political problem on our hands here in the little town of Somerset. As you know, my friend Kathy Souza is running for selectman. She served as a selectman. She won a special election after Holly McNamara threw a temper tantrum and quit. Kathy won. She was then running for re-election up against a nobody who came from nowhere, and he beat her, mostly because admittedly, Kathy didn't feel like he was a threat and didn't run a strong campaign. She was the incumbent. He was from nowhere. And it was the first real dose of how the Democratic machine in the town of Somerset works. And she did not win her reelection. Now, Jamison Souza is not running for reelection. He is running against Justin Thurber for state rep. And nobody was really stepping up to serve. Kathy, while it's a very busy time in her life, she has just had a new grandchild. She works full time. She still fights the good fight down the Brayton Point area of town. She and I spoke, and she spoke with other stakeholders, and she said that she would step up to serve. So she ran for office. She's currently a candidate. There is another guy. His name is Joe Bednarik. I don't even know how to say his name. He's a Democrat. He's running. So they're going to try to do that. But there's another lady. This lady named Donna Cook. She's from Tiverton. She just moved here, and she is running. And I do my homework. When you think, what does Jessica do for a living? What is Jessica doing? What does she do when she hangs up this phone? Well, I look on the internet at the people who want to come into my town and start running shit, and I dig up shit on the internet and see who they are before I make a decision. And it turns out this lady is batshit fucking crazy. Batshit crazy, okay? Google Donna Cook from Tiverton and see what happens. She was a fucking menace, but not in a good way. And I was like, well, let's just start saving video and let's start getting all this stuff ready, because then you can discuss it in your debates and all that shit like that, right? This is what you do. Get the facts so that you can share them with the public and the voting members, and also discuss it when you can. So I thought that Donna might have been a plant, so to speak, because, you know, you come from nowhere. You can't, are you going to win an election? Maybe, I don't know. To make a long story short, she called Coach K Swizzle and said, now Coach K Swizzle is a Republican and he's on our Republican town committee. Coach K Swizzle says that she called him and said, "Hi, I'm a Republican in town and I want to speak to the committee and I want to learn more." And basically, it sounds to me like Kooky Donna knows that we are obligated under our bylaws that if a Republican runs for office in the town of Somerset, we have to support them publicly. So now my vibe is that the Democrats put up Donna Kook to run, to force our hand to have to support her, but more importantly, so that we can't support Kathy, who, by the way, has been a registered Republican, but unenrolled because she didn't want to have like any partisan issues with the race. So now I have to call the Mass GOP and I have to ask them what the actual interpretation of the bylaws are. Obviously, we would like to support Kathy. One of our members of our committee is her campaign manager, for crying out loud. Her husband she's on our committee. Well, she's not now because she unenrolled, but she was a Republican. And so we have to see. But at the end of the day, then fine. Kathy's going to have to re-enroll as a Republican, which is what she was anyway. And then we can support her. There's a way around it, Donna, is basically what I'm saying. That's really what I'm saying. You know what I mean? That was the point. We have workarounds. We can figure it out. We're rule followers. So we have that going on as well. Lastly, thank you so much, Purple Kool-Aid Drinker, for the kind words that you have been saying about me. I will have my management team reach out to your management team about some sort of collaboration, as I know that the besties and bunnies have been begging me for it. You are doing a great job, sweetie. You're doing a great job, sweetie. You're getting the views. And you have twice the muscle mass than Mike Crawford or Brian LTL, and that is probably why the ladies are in the chat. All right. Why am I in such a bad mood today, you ask? Thank you so much for asking. Yesterday, 5150 released text messages between my friend Erin and I think who people thought was Meredith, but upon further investigation, it looks as if it's text messages from what I'm gathering here between Meredith and MLP Pink Lady. And the messages are Erin talking about me to MLP Pink Lady and saying some things. And listen, I talked to Kathy when I found out. And Kathy said, I'm going to give you the advice you always give me. Sleep on it. Do not say or do or react to anything in the moment. We've matured from that. Wait until tomorrow. And I said, noted. On the car ride to go shopping yesterday, Jeffrey and I discussed it. And then on the car ride home, I called TT and TT and I discussed it. And then for good measure, I discussed it with Georgia this morning on the car ride. So it was like, well, how do you handle it, right? First of all, if anybody, Altman 5150, post or say anything about me, I usually address it. So that's usually what happens. Number two, I was sitting there trying to like look at it with slants, and I was just like, I am not going to slant it. I'm not going to lie. I'm not fucking lying about this situation, okay? Here's the situation. I'm really hurt, sad, and pissed off about it. There's no other way to say that. I couldn't believe it. So Aiden sent it to me and was like, "Did you see this?" And I opened it up, and my first thought was, these aren't real text messages. It's not a real text message. And it was one singular screenshot. Hold on, this is a narrow road over here. I just don't know why it's still narrow. So it was one singular screenshot, and my take was that it wasn't a real fucking message. And Meredith puts the least shocking news ever, and it says it looks like it's Erin, and she's ha 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 ha. She blocked me right away too. When we had it out that last day, I unfriended and unfollowed her everywhere, Facebook, Gram, X, and YouTube, and then she blocked me. And also it had hashtag free Erin. So listen, you know me well enough to know I didn't even hesitate. I picked up the phone and I called Erin immediately. She forwarded it to voicemail. I called a second time. She forwarded it to voicemail. I literally got up and went to go look for my shoes because I was just going to drive to her house. And she responded that she was in a meeting. And I asked if this was real. And she said yes. And she said that she had responded to Meredith. And also said that wasn't the whole message, that she said also in the message that she was sad, but of course Meredith wasn't going to post that. And did I want it? And I said, no, I don't. And Erin said, what's going on over here? Somebody's fishing. Got it. Fishing at 8:10 on a Friday in March. Got it. So now, first of all, I know what kind of guerrilla warfare Meredith is capable of, obviously. So number one, my whole thing was like, let me authenticate it. Number two, I couldn't figure out if these were text messages between Erin and Meredith or Erin and I didn't know. You know what I mean? So surely as I'm doing this, my phone is blowing up, and I love all of the bunnies and besties. Everybody was sending it to me, but it was like literally like a fucking pinprick every single time it got sent. I was like, I know. And so I said that I can't believe this. And she said that I talked to someone and that I laughed that you blocked me. You blocked me, LOL. We had an argument. I unfollowed you and you blocked me. I still think it's funny you blocked me. And she said, it was MLF lady. And I ignored her when she kept trying to talk. And I did not respond back to her. So then I was trying to my first reaction was I couldn't believe it. It wasn't that Erin was saying that she talked to somebody. We have a group of friends that Erin is a part of. And so I assumed she would be talking to her friends about the situation if she was upset with me. I did not like, this is just my thoughts. I did not like that she was commiserating with strangers. Whether it were Meredith or MLP or other people, those are strangers, and sharing disparaging words or thoughts or criticisms about someone that she has been friends with for a long time with strangers was pretty shocking to me, and I was shocked about it. So that was my original take. And I went back and pulled up my messages between Erin and I after what happened. And essentially, I just wanted to make sure that I had a proper historical memory of what had happened. But essentially, the week that the Kayla Churchill video dropped, if you remember, and I don't want to revisit it too much, but Kayla made a video, or I'm not sure who made the video, and was pushing it out across social media down here, which is far more intimate than X social media, because that video had been on X on Meredith's page months earlier, and it got or Kate Peters' page, it got no traction. And it didn't bother me because nobody really reacted. But Kayla Churchill was posting it everywhere, on every Facebook page down in this area, and every single person saw it. If you remember, the lady from Duncan saw it. My son had people that worked with him that asked him about it. It was everywhere. And I was dealing with, like, basically very public shame and embarrassment. And as a result, I didn't feel like it was the best time to start a political show that I had been hankering to start. And I canceled it. And it was supposed to be on that Monday. And I had been amping up for it and really pushing myself to do it because I felt pressure to do it. Even though it didn't feel right, I was doing it. And for all the same reasons why I haven't done it still, which is I don't want to alienate my base. And also there's another part of that, which I'll talk about in a second when it comes to the political show. And so I just felt, number one, I had been crying and screaming and dealing with phone calls and stuff. I was not physically in the right space. I wasn't mentally in the right space. And also, it's going around the political circle pretty deep. I'm not going to do a political show that day. And I made the decision based on my feelings that I wasn't going to do the political show. And Erin felt that that was a major mistake. And she gave the feedback to me saying that I was letting my fans down and that I needed to just do it. And I basically was like, I don't think that you have the right to tell me that. And also, I'm down really bad. But okay, if you want to make it worse by saying that I'm letting my fans down, okay, great, fine. And I ultimately, that was on the Monday. I think Tuesday we were still chirping back and forth with each other. And I made the decision to go and do Bunny After Dark. And I can't recall if she said she wasn't going to do it, or I think she suggested maybe she could just do some of it from home. And I made the decision right then and there that Erin wasn't coming back. And I ultimately ended up having one of the best shows I ever had. It was the Peter McNeely episode. And I lost my studio right in that same time frame, that day or the day of, or right at that time. And that was a very difficult, as you know, it was a very difficult thing for me because my studio was kind of like my baby and I saw no path forward without it. And I had put in so much work and money, and I was so upset about my studio. I was so upset. So I was dealing with two really big things. I was dealing with the loss of my studio and also a level of public shame and embarrassment that, to be honest with you, I can handle, but I was unexpected and I was really not ready for. And I pushed through that Saturday, did my show in the closet. Cyber Chick Cheryl was my guest. And while I don't have guests anymore, it was the perfect way to transition from the studio to there. I still have things at the studio. I can't go back there. I have become like crippled with it. It's anxiety. It was anxiety going back there. It was the loss of the studio that, you know, in my eyes was through no fault of my own, something I built and something I loved that was taken away from me. And I'm upset by it. And every time I went there, it was hard to go back. And I have such bad fucking memories about it. And I have to reconcile in my head that it was really great, but also now it's gone and it's just a fuck. It's a mind fuck. And all lumped into that was that Erin was there and all of that. And in the days following where I made the commitment to do the show and to push forward and seeing a path for doing it at home with Julia moving out at the same time, I was like, I can do it. Did I want to quit? Yes. Did I have any idea what was going to happen or what this was going to look like? No. However, as I've spoken about many times, I have faith in me and my talent. And I have heard for years from WBSM, from WSAR, from the Herald News, from the Fall River Reporter, from Howie Carr, how good and talented I am, how extraordinary I am. And I always had a like imposter syndrome vibe going on. Like I didn't believe that. There's no way. And that is rooted in literally my whole life being told I'm fat, I'm a loser, I suck, you're no good, blah, 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 blah. I recognized I was at a point in my life getting into 50 years old, my kids being older, that I was just like, you know what, Jessica? Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to continue to like let those voices in your head just be like, you fucking suck? No. So now, like, let's go all in, right? Let's go all fucking in on me, on this right here, what I'm doing right here. This thing, the thing that I get hundreds of emails on, text messages on, which is like my ability to talk, be relatable, try to be honest, be self-deprecating, be funny, make jokes, be creative. I know what the fuck I am. It's not my fault Erin didn't know that. It's not my fault that they didn't have faith in me. So I knew I was going to do it. I knew I was going to move forward. My kids and my husband were like, okay, do it. Fuck it, do it. Okay, we're doing it. And honestly, from that day on, it has been a completely different situation. Completely. The difference between the day before when I didn't do the show at my house and the day after has been, I can't even tell you. Metric wise, analytically, it has been a one, it's not even 180, it's nonstop, obviously. And I am a little humble about these things, okay? Like, I don't ever want to really talk about it, but like, I literally fucking kill it every fucking day. Every day I do better than the day before. I never go backwards. Never. It's just more. More followers, more likes, more engagements, more content, more time on, more fucking money, more merch, more everything. Just more of everything. It's so fucking much. It's so fucking good. So, in the days following, I had to very much discipline myself to respect the friendship and not talk about some things. Now, I've been friends with Erin for a long time. Erin knows all the worst parts about me, all the tea, everything, and vice versa, by the way. And I think in a couple of days after everything happened, I was talking a little bit about it, and Erin texted me and she asked, "I'm going to ask that you not talk about me on your show." And I made the commitment right then and there. And after that, I have never said a word about Erin, ever. On the contrary, people will mention her in the chat in the beginning, and I said, we're not talking about Erin. Erin's great. Everything's okay, out of respect for Erin. I have deleted comments that were saying not nice things about Erin. In the beginning, when I was kind of like able to keep up with comments, I was like, I would delete them, right? Out of respect for Erin. And if she took the time to message me, I was like, okay. So I believe, and happy to be put in my place otherwise, but you can't. I have withheld my obligation to respect her on the show and in the chat. Okay? So that's that. I think I did the right thing, and to be quite honest with you, never talked about it again. Never talked about any of this again. I never talked about my feelings about what she was saying and what she did at that time. I never talked about that. I also never talked about it with anybody. Didn't talk about it with people privately in text messages. I never even really talked about it with my husband or TT. Nothing. I just didn't. And that felt right. That felt better for me. We're not talking about it. Blah, blah, blah. As you know, we got into a car accident the night of the Wilbur. Erin was driving. It was Erin's car. Erin was not found at fault. When she was found at, it was the other person. I spoke with an attorney about my options for filing a lawsuit against the driver of the vehicle. What I talked about was what happened that day and what it meant for my business. I always felt like right at that time that was an opportunity for me to interact with fans, connect with fans. I'm not saying I was using Aiden's thing, but all content creators and those people benefited from being there. And I met with an attorney who my sister Jamie used to work for, and I sat down and I was like, listen, I think like I could really say that this was the loss of an opportunity. I didn't get to go to the event afterwards. We were not really doing all those things. And of course, you know, these attorneys and ambulance chasers, he's like, there is enough here for a lawsuit. You should sue them. And I want you to document like everything that you feel you were impacted by, like whatever. And, you know, listen, the company was Cisco, okay, like the Cisco company. And it was not Erin's fault. And once I learned that it wasn't Erin's fault and it was that guy's thing, I looked at suing this guy. I don't know, like for what? $10,000? What do you put a number on a loss of potential connections with fans and things like that? You know what I mean? Like, how do you put a number on that? That wasn't my job. That was the attorney's job. And everything this guy was telling me was like, yes, we're doing this. You're going to do it. I wasn't going for treatment to go and get seen for like injury, although he was trying to get me to do that. I said, I just would want to look at, I consider this to be like a, once a year event that was really important to me and my brand and whatever. And so, after the falling out with Erin, I chose not to pursue that, to the chagrin of my husband, who was like very happy for me to go and file a lawsuit against a multi-billion-dollar company and maybe get $10,000 out of it. You know what I mean? And I just told him I didn't want to cause Erin any grief because obviously it went through her insurance company and all these things like that. And I was like, I'm just not doing it. So I called the attorney and I said I didn't want to do it anymore. He called me again and he was trying to convince me to, because what, they make like 50% off of it? I don't know. So I was just like, I'm not doing it, dude. Like, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not friends with this person anymore. I don't want to do it. Like, the answer is no. So I reached out to Erin originally and I told her I was doing it. I think maybe she knew we were still talking, but I sent her a text message and tell her that I was 33%. That guy was trying to hustle me for like $3,000. That's crazy. But anyway, I called the whole thing off. Just went about my business and went about doing whatever it was that I was doing. And that's it. Now, these text messages between Erin and MLP are from December. So, okay, that text message stings. And I was like upset, felt a little surprised, but whatever. I also got sent Erin's response where she was basically like saying like, why are you doing this? The Meredith situation, like, Meredith, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, you're just dragging people into it. You're causing problems, blah, 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 blah. And I don't really care that Erin said that. Like, that's great. That's fine. But like, I didn't need that to be said. I don't care. You know what I mean? And so I was like, whatever. And I left to go do what I needed to do last night. And then at some point, someone sent me, and I can't see it on Meredith's page, so I don't know exactly where it is, but like, I don't know, but Meredith shared additional text messages of Erin's and whoever else it was. So, I just want to get it because I want to make sure I have it right. So I guess, again, out of context, I don't see the whole thing, but Erin is saying no FOIAs, no writing, no phone calls. It's just gossip she makes money from. So it's easy, but I don't know what she's going to do when it's done. And she's old news on YouTube from doing all this stuff. It's crazy to watch. Another friend that was close with us is saying the same. How did she regress so much? Sad face. That aside, I agree. It won't end well. She's putting all the eggs in this basket, but it's not going to be a story forever, which is why I wanted her to focus on her political show, thrive and run circles around everyone. People like that are bad vibes. And it's MLP is saying he is a creep, and I was a TB fan up until his first something. You can't see it all. And Erin responded to that, I never liked him, referencing Aiden. And MLP says, good for you. You don't need to be involved in that hot mess. And Erin said, people like that are bad vibes. So many comments, I something or whatever. And another screenshot said something, this is Erin responding to MLP saying, if you paid attention, you could see my face when this shit would come up. She said, even the Beaver Moon thing, I was like, what are we doing here? This was not the plan. And yes, she's funny and so quick, but this bad shit negates all that other good stuff. So, full transparency, the first text message screenshot, I was like, okay, I can handle that. And I'm disappointed. It was more about the fact that she was commiserating with a complete stranger, was one thing. The second batch of text messages that I just read were completely different because, can I be honest with you? I loved the Beaver Moon ceremony, but Erin was across from me and I could see her face and it held me back and I felt uncomfortable. And I loved the Beaver Moon ceremony. And also it's like, it was so funny. And like her talking about her face during it to MLP, I know because I felt how you were looking at me, which was judging me. And that was very hard for me to do in the moment, to push through that. So much so that whenever I clip parts of the Beaver Moon ceremony, Erin's face was on the screen the whole time, which, by the way, she controlled. I didn't. I cropped that out because it reminded me of like what was happening in that moment. And I guess the problem I have is I don't tell anybody how to do their jobs. I don't tell Erin how to do her job. I don't tell Jen Altman how to do her job. I don't tell anybody how to do their jobs. But somehow, some way, people seem to think that they should be telling me how to do my job. And I asked Erin to kind of be there to get things going off the ground. And it was definitely as a comfort because Erin was my friend and that felt comfortable to me. I never thought that there would be judgment there. I never expected there to be like disdain for what I was doing. I also never thought that she cared that much about what I was doing. To see that she was like, quote unquote, disappointed in what I was doing. Listen, I'm never going to be the kind of friend that's going to like criticize you. So you know. And I understand that there are people that want friends to tell them things and criticize them and be like that tough love type of friend. I've never been that kind of friend ever. Just so you know, it's not me. I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to like tell you like things to make you feel good. And that's it. Right? That's just me. And there's plenty of times where I don't say what I really think about my friends because it's not my place. I'm not that kind of friend. Do I believe that I wasn't meant to read those thoughts? Correct. Those are private messages. And, you know, again, Meredith releasing private messages to hurt people is just par for the course for Meredith, right? That being said, put that aside. I'll handle that later. I have seen them, and that is very upsetting. And I am going to tell you something. As I have said with other things, nobody is ever going to drop a screenshot of me shit talking Erin to not only a stranger, but anybody. And so, and also, the other part about that is the other friend who said she wanted to talk to me about things, and that's complicated as well. And I also, again, have not talked about this. Like, I just felt the right thing was to be private about it, to not discuss these things, but also to know that a friend was talking to a stranger. Why did she feel the need to commiserate with a stranger? Like, she's like, I needed to talk to people too. Strangers? You needed validation from someone you've never met? There's a lot of other things here that I can't say. There are things I want to say. There are things that TT told me I should say. I'm not doing that. I'm just going to say this. I am a lot of things, but one thing I am not is judgmental. And I think that my friends in this situation benefited for many years from me not being a judgmental person. I didn't do that to get a reward or any benefit. But if I died tomorrow, I know I didn't judge you, Erin. I never judged you, Stephanie. And I still don't. There is a other part of this here, which is the other friend. Her husband hates Aiden, loathes him, and very early on would tell me to not associate with him. Don't have any adjacency to him. Stay away from him. Don't talk to him. He's a loser. All of these things. I disagreed. And from the text messages that I just read, you can see that Erin and this girl were talking about that. And I can feel her husband's words through this situation. I can feel this is a part of it. And she wanted to talk to me about, she wanted to meet, and I didn't talk to her, and she tapped out of the friendship, but it's very obvious that it is all connected because Erin clearly talks about it in these text messages. And I always had the belief system that Aiden can do whatever he wants, and I can support him and I can be a friend to him. But at the end of the day, I'm very confident that people who follow me and follow him know that I don't do the same things that Aiden does. I don't do the same shit that he does. He does things I would never do. Do you know what I mean? That doesn't mean that I don't support him. That doesn't mean that I am not going to help him. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to be a friend to him or appear in this arena with him. I will do all of those things and then not mimic him. I've always said I'm who I am. There's other ways to handle things. Like, so this whole Aiden thing is a part of it as well. And seeing and reading that confirmed what I thought, but I didn't really know. So fast forward to what happened after all of this, what happened after the studio was gone, after the falling out with Erin. And how can you say, honestly, I stopped listening to you because I think you are really judgmental. You need to take a harder look at yourself. So what brought you back? I'm asking out of curiosity, what brought you back? Why are you still here? Because you can't be stating that you stopped listening while you are listening. Listen, do me a favor. If somebody's saying something that you don't like, you can block them, leave them here. I want to see the people. I want to monitor the accounts. Let them stay. You don't have to engage. Just leave them here. Of course they're going to be here today. You knew that. I knew that too, but leave them here. Ignore them. Screenshot them for me. Don't respond, just screenshot and send it to me. So we've talked, I believe, many times somewhere along the way in all of these conversations that I have with all of you is about the success of the show, not just financially, but like with my 1 million views, my 10,000 subscribers, with my 1,000 memberships, with all of the numbers and all of the things that happen. We've talked about that and how I always feel like it's hard to embrace because it's hard to believe. I'm going on a vacation in a week that has been gifted to me at a place I could never afford by someone who listens to me talk every day. By the way, not about public records requests, not about or exclusively about that, not exclusively about politics or my written stories or my investigations, about life, about my family, about how I feel about things. Someone finds value in that so much so that she has gifted me something extraordinary. My house gets items every single solitary day from people who feel like they want to share or enhance my life. And in return, I give them what I believe is a quality show that can make them feel something every day. And it's obvious that people like it and want more of it, which is why I do a show every morning now, which is why I do a show on Wednesdays. I was doing shows on Sundays and Saturdays until, I understood I needed to find some balance. And what's crazy is that Erin and I always used to talk about how if I ever really got it going, she could quit her job and she could just do it full time with me, right? We used to joke like Alex Cooper and Lauren, her best friend, was always working behind the scenes and helping her. And then Alex made it big and Lauren came with her and all this stuff. And I used to say, like, I wish we could make that kind of money so you could do this with me full time. And bitch, I'm making that money now and you're nowhere to be found. I could pay you now. You just didn't want to wait around. You didn't think I was doing it right. The worst part and how I'm feeling is that I was struggling so much in the beginning to get this off the ground. I was struggling so much financially, drowning financially, and it was coming to a head, and it was the end of the year, and I didn't listen. I'm very open. The Substack and the writing and the FOIA requests and the investigative pieces didn't pay money. They didn't pay. They didn't pay enough to make ends meet. I knew that the only way to make money was through YouTube. And I knew that if I made the money on the YouTube, it could finance other things. My coverage of the Kelsey case is financed through my YouTube. And just at the end of the year in December is it finally hit. It finally did it. And it is because of this YouTube channel, the monetization, the super chats, the Venmos that I earned through this that allow me to do the Kelsey hearing. Aside from that, it isn't easy money. Shit talking, sharing my life, getting up every day, the consistency of streaming is not easy. Aiden does it every day. He is a pro at this. He makes a fucking shit ton of money doing this because of the hustle, because of the dedication, because of how hard he works. Nothing against our queen Jimmy or our queen Kimmy or anybody else, right? They do it at their leisure. This is my full-time job. I put in so much work into these shows every single solitary day, every day. Second, I recognize how fucking amazing it is that I can do a job and it doesn't really interfere with my health, which is very hard. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. If I wanted to, I could go collect disability and get a disability check every month because of my lupus and all of the things. I get a paycheck from the fucking government and live off of that every single solitary day. There's something in my head that makes me feel like a loser if I do that, because at least try, and I'm too young and like whatever, but like I know that if I went and worked post lupus life, I would not be able to consistently keep a job. I know that. Put that aside. Now I have this job where I can do this. I get so upset that Erin was judging me, saying like, this is the Jessica we love, the FOIA request, the investigate. That's great. That Jessica was poor. That Jessica could not pay her bills. That Jessica had guilt because her kids wanted and needed things and I couldn't do it. So I'm very glad, Erin, that you really thought that that was the best thing for me. It turns out it wasn't the best thing for me. Furthermore, I can do all of that still. I do all of that still. The second part or third or 15th part of it is sometimes, and this is, I'm going to go back to the thing I was going to say about the political show. Sometimes I feel used doing all of the things, the political stuff, the FOIA requests. I feel used. I felt like there was a point where people were using me and the stuff that I was doing politically for themselves, for their candidates, for the party, and I wasn't ever getting a cent from it. So I would do the hard work. I'd put myself out there. I would talk about candidates. I would do all of this shit exposing people, and other people were getting paid. Other people were getting money. Other people were getting elected and support, and I'm doing the fucking hard grunt work and they all benefit from it. And I was like, I'm not your bitch. And believe me, there were a lot of people in the background that could not wait for me to get that political show up and running so they could showcase their candidates and their agendas and their bills on a platform that I built brick by fucking brick. Fuck that. I haven't talked about this. I think I maybe mentioned it, but let me give you a little bit more about the political show. I said I was going to do a political show. Everybody knew I was going to do a political show. Candidates, ops, everybody knew. What does the Mass GOP go and do? They hire an absolutely nobody to do a political show in a studio. They pay him to do it, and it gets 5 views. And I was pissed. I was pissed. Why not fucking have me do it? So hire someone, pay someone to do a show. Nobody watches it. Let me look right now and see how many episodes and how many views. But let me go do a show and let me take your candidates and let me do all of those things and not make any money off of it. Mass GOP, 371 subscribers, 147 videos. 10 days ago, Back to Normal episode 17 had 28 views. Back to Normal episode 16, Micah Jones for Congress, 234 views. Back to Normal, Chester Tam, 9th Bristol District, 143 views. 46 views for the Brian Shortsleeve candidate for governor video. 47 views with Elizabeth Dion. 31 views, 16 views, 47 views, 38 views. You had Deanna DiZoglio on your show. You got 47 views. So how did I feel? I felt like, you know what? Fuck the political show, because everybody who was going to be using me shouldn't get that. Now, do I feel an obligation for like my political junkies who want to hear my take on it? Sure. Do I want to do that? I do. But how I felt about the other people overrode that. In my opinion, and it's my choice. And also I test it out and I see some people don't like it. And when I have an actual revenue coming in and that's paying my bills for the first time in a long time, I don't want to touch it. I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to fuck with it. I don't want to lose anything. I want to make my base happy, keep them happy. I love Erin very much. I've been friends with her for a long time. And while I think some people don't like Erin's isms and how she is, I always really appreciated that she always was just herself, and Erin lives her life a certain way and held the line on that. And I always really had a lot of respect for that. It's not how I live my life, but I always had respect that Erin just like fucking did what she wanted when she wanted, and that's it, right? I am very upset reading these messages. They are very painful. I am sure if Erin had a platform, she would share how I've disappointed her and how unhappy she is, and that's fine. This is not something I ever would have talked about if it weren't for the fact that these messages are public. So she'll have to take that up with Meredith or MLP for sharing her shit or whatever. But perhaps it is a really good reminder that talking to strangers can suck. I don't want, and I am not reading the comments about Erin. I'm sure there are some right here. It ends today. There will be no more commenting about her. Don't ask me about her or anything like that. I'm going to say this. I never asked for anything more than for her to be my friend and kind of be there and support and help. Were there times where I didn't think that what Erin said or did on screen is what I wanted for my brand? Yes. Did I ever say that to her? I didn't. Because I didn't want to hurt her feelings. Believe me, I have plenty of messages otherwise where I would say thank you. If you were one of the people that sent me messages about Erin being on the show and you said that you didn't like her or you thought that she shouldn't be on screen, I challenge you to share those with anybody or Erin and say how I responded, which was very nicely and with kindness, or maybe not even at all. What didn't reconcile in my mind is that when I finally, quote unquote, made it big and was finally making money at this and got all of these million views and these 10,000 subscribers, the people that I thought were my friends were not there. And in my mind, that made me feel like I was doing something wrong. Like these messages, her saying, like, when YouTube is gone, what, that could all still be true. That all of this would end, and then what am I? I'm nothing, right? I get tired of FOIA requests. They're exhausting. Fighting the state to get a piece of public information. And by the way, they fought me every step of the way, all the time. Nobody ever just handed me over what I needed the same day. They'd make me wait the full 10 days. And then at the end of the 10 days, they would put in another fucking request for 30 days. Then they try to charge me. It got so overwhelming and dejecting, swimming up a river every single solitary day to get a little bit of information and then taking time and trying to like make something of that is very hard. And I also felt like I was the only one doing it and also not getting any financial reward from it. Was it like, what do you call it? Rewarding work? Rooting out corruption? It was. But it wasn't paying the bills. And what am I supposed to do? But at the same time, I was tired. I was so tired of doing it. Aiden talked about it, about like writer's block, so to speak, like post Karen Reed worlds. He felt less inclined to cover ratchet stories or corruption stories. He puts one out here or there, but off air, we've talked about this, about what is it where we feel more of a need to connect with the audience through a visual audio situation than pen and paper. And I think there's a bunch of different factors that are adding to that. First of all, once you connect with audience members in this way, it feels like it's missing when you don't. I don't like missing days. I feel like something's off. So there's the inertia of it. At the same time, it is definitely easier to talk like this and get my point across in words than to sit, edit, write, type, upload. It's harder. This is easier. And I'm older. And there doesn't seem to be financial benefit from doing it the other way. So I've always felt that if this stopped, if this didn't work, I had an option. I could continue to write. I was paid to write for other people, and I choose not to do that right now. Writing takes a lot of time, and so does this. I choose the one that pays and the one that feels good. I don't care if people think there's too much drama or not enough drama, or what. I do what feels right every single solitary day. I judge it. I make the decisions. I decide. I feel it. I know the numbers. I know everything. And it's my words. It's my show. And all I ask is that you just go along for the ride and support me, not criticize me, not tell me I'm doing it wrong. Just be there if I ask you to be. That's it. I try to sit here and I say, okay, I want to say this, 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 and this. And I really can't do that. I think it would just not be good for anybody. I think it would hurt feelings, and I'm not going to do it. I want to do it. Tell you what TT thinks I should do. I'm just not going to do it. Also, I'm not a perfect person. And honestly, Erin knows the worst of me. And I don't want to provoke Erin to feel like she should go and like ruin my life by telling all of my isms and talking about my family and my marriage and my kids in ways that nobody knows. And so, but vice versa, same on that end too. I just don't ever want to talk about this anymore. I don't ever want to hear about it anymore. So I'm going to say this. I am going to ask that you not mention Erin. Do not say bad words about her. She's still a good person. I've had great years with Erin. I am sad that this is how it ended. There's nothing that I can do about that, and I'm not asking to change it. I'm asking that you not say anything mean about her. If it happened during the chat, I'm not going to say anything, but it needed to be said because it's in this arena now because of what happened with Meredith posting this shit. And there is a certain element of people who don't like me relishing in that, like same Erin, same hashtag free Erin, like all this stuff, like that stuff doesn't necessarily matter to me. But the fact that it is memorialized out there, I felt like I needed to address it. I didn't want to address it, but I also wanted to address it because a lot of the besties were messaging me about it, and I didn't like that they were texting me, and I was like, I am sure there were plenty of things that I could have done differently or better. There are other ways that I could have been a better friend. There are other things that I could have done differently. Maybe I could be the kind of person that does tell you what you need to hear and not what you should hear. I don't really know. Okay? I do know that it worked for many years, and that's how I am, and that's it. I miss my friends, and I miss the camaraderie that we had. I will tell you, on the side, I'm very angry about some things. There are some things I'm really fucking angry about here, like raging angry, and that I want to really fucking go off on. There's some things with the other friend that I really fucking would like to fucking get cleared up here. I am going to say this. Currently, right now, despite the odds, my marriage is better and stronger than it has been over the past 3.5 years. My children are all healthy and doing very well in their lives, and my relationship with my children is firmly intact and high functioning. It's at My relationship with my children is absolutely what I've always wanted it to be at this age, at this time, at their ages. I wouldn't change a thing about it at all. It couldn't be any better. I'm happy that my husband got through what I consider to be one of the most difficult things ever, which is what happened with his son. I'm grateful for this show and this platform, which has elevated our life in a way financially that has taken the stress off of our marriage, and so that we can at least eliminate that part of what's going on so that there's less stress and less triggers. And professionally, I feel very comfortable and happy and proud of the work that I've been doing. I have absolutely nothing in my life that is not good right now. And so I'm just going to go with that. I didn't have to step on anybody to get here. I didn't cheat or steal my way here. I did it through hard work and getting over a lot of fucking hurdles of people that don't like me because of my opinions and who I am. And so I am going to just go with that. I am sure these things happen to other people. It was bound to happen. Perhaps I've been lucky enough up until this point to have never had something like this happen. I am going to be 50 years old a week from Sunday. The good time to assess my life, and although I think I do it all the time anyway, there's one more thought that I thought of, which was over the past however many years, I've had all these legal issues with Holly and Shauna and right and all the shit. And I have a couple of pictures of after leaving court on a couple of different occasions. I would ask my girlfriends to come and meet me for a drink to celebrate the court win, and everybody would come down and we'd have a drink and take a picture, and I always felt supported when everything was so bad. But it's weird that things are so good and it's not there, does that make sense? And I don't want to actually negate the friends that I do have. Lauren has been a steadfast friend of mine my whole life. I've known her since I was in kindergarten. And Lauren is a tremendous supporter. And Kathy and I speak every single solitary day. And Funeral Lady and I have grown closer because of her wanting to be involved and support. And she's a newer friend. It's just, I guess I have to be reflective on what could I have done differently that kept the group together when I made it big. Why did that dynamic change so much? And it sounds to me from these text messages that I've seen that it is because of how I did it. And, you know, a couple of my friends didn't think that I should be doing it this way. And I never asked my friends for money when I couldn't pay my bills. I never asked them to, you know, financially support my endeavors. I just asked for them to just support me. And I don't know. So now it's like, here I am and I'm doing great. And I have the show and I have the besties from, I guess, Slumming It and Talking Drama. And I don't have some of those people around me anymore. And I don't know. I guess what I'm looking for is, if you're going to text me or talk to me about it, be the devil's advocate and explain to me why or how it is that way. I don't know. I have no idea. I've never felt more myself doing these shows. I've never felt more myself. I've never felt more comfortable behind a camera or a microphone. I've never felt more relaxed, more authentic. I talk about politics. I talk about Karen Reed. I talk about a little bit about Karen Reed. I don't know. I have fun. I do Cartman. I don't know. It feels great. It feels good. Maybe it's not. Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm not doing it right. Maybe I should just be doing FOIA requests. That's what they love. That's what Erin told me she loved. That's the Jessica we love. That Jessica. Not this Jessica that gets into drama with MLP. The person you were talking to. So that's it. We are not talking about this again. This is it. Needed to be discussed. Meredith, you are a shitty person for doing what you do. But I deserve it. I deserve this because every chance I get, I will shit all over you and your fucking completely fucking deranged way of living your life. I 100% deserve to catch these strays, Meredith, because every single chance I get, I will call out the fact that you are a fucking psychopath. Worth it. Worth it. This cry, this bitch fest, this vulnerability, those text messages, watching my old friend talk shit about me, worth it, you dumb fucking cunt. Worth it. You're crazy. You're crazy. You are never going to find a man working, living, and thriving in the free world that is ever going to want to cohabitate with you. Worth it. Do more. Say more. Show more. Please. Because I will never want to relinquish the ability to point out that you hacked into your boyfriend's, plural, accounts, plural, and ruined their lives, plural. You're crazy. Once is still believable. Twice, it's an anomaly that can only be, the only way you can explain it is mental illness. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter how high functioning you are. It doesn't matter the jobs, the cars. It doesn't matter anything. It is all overridden by the fact that you are absolutely crazy. And you have surrounded yourself with people who are a sub-level of crazy, who are supporting and encouraging you. The real problem isn't Meredith. Meredith is crazy, and that is obviously a mental problem that only institutionalizing her could help. The real problem are the people around her that aren't crazy. The other people who actually are not mentally unwell, who are just bad people. Jen Altman isn't crazy. Jen Altman is a bad human being. Do you understand the difference? She is nuts. There are movies written about women like her. She's crazy. The solution, mental hospital. Down here, we used to call it Corrigan. Wherever that is, Bridgewater State, that's where Meredith needs to be. And I suspect that she will have to be on a combination of drugs for the rest of her life to stop the thoughts in her head. Put that aside. The people surrounding her are terrible humans. Jen Altman, Kate Peter, Chris Koala. These are people, they're not mentally unwell. They have character deficits and are flawed humans who thrive on causing other people pain. That is the real problem. Jen Altman has a job. Jen Altman has a husband. She has a son. And she's out here using a mentally unwell woman to execute her plan of hatred against me and Aiden. That's diabolical. That's not mentally unwell. That's not someone who needs a straitjacket. That's a fucking ugly, gross human. Kate Peter has lost her children to the state of Massachusetts. On my worst day, I could never associate with a woman like that because she is not a good mother. She put herself above her own children. So much, not talking on a daily basis, like in life. And an agency had to come and say, you can't be here anymore, children. That is the worst kind of person. That is who is supporting Meredith. A man who lives in another continent, who takes pride in being a quote unquote fuck boy, is looking for some sort of way to validate his life, and he has attached himself to another fuck boy, Aiden Carney, because you're a fuck boy, Aiden, you know that, and is now trying to like take him down as some sort of like accomplishment, and is facilitating it through social media. These are crazy people, but they're just bad people. Everybody pause for a minute and say good morning to the king. Patrick Ford is here, and he is the king of all of the bunnies. Give him the fucking respect that he deserves. Is there a kiss the ring emoji? Where is it? All I can see is one comment at a time, 2 comments, 2 times, 1 time. So there's that too. You know what I mean? That whole situation, the Meredith, it's just, I don't know. I don't know I'm going to disconnect for a week. I'm going to try very hard. I don't know. I was going to actually say something, but I can't say it. I'm not going to say it. We have to hold that back. I know you hate when I do that. I'm sorry. It looks like Meowser's home today. His truck is still here. Listen, the only thing I can say is this. Rest be assured, if my YouTube channel gets taken down by the Young Black Economist or anybody else, If the bunnies turn on me and they find out that I am not the human being that I purport myself to be, and I lose my revenue streams and my Venmos and all of the things, if my platform on X loses its 44,000 followers and I lose my 10,000 subs, I want you to all know I have a backup plan. I have a backup plan. Do you want to know what it is? No T-Money short stack, not OnlyFans. Here's my plan. I will my backup plan is to, well, here's the thing. If it is between now and when Georgia is in college, which is only 2 more years, 1 year, and black market Pyrex. I'm being serious. I have yes, collecting cans. I have a will you let me tell you, you guys are fucking comedians. Black market Pyrex is not a bad fucking idea. No. Just let me, please. If it's between not, please. Can you have Pat Ford and Kane on your show like a debate? I have to think about that. Feeding seagulls, please. Please. Only Pyrex. We are not going to Hurricane. Listen, my goal has always been to my goal has always been the only goal. It's not me professionally. It's nothing. It's none of those things. My only goal is to have each one of my children find jobs doing what they love and getting paid good money for it. And we have Julia's there. Jack is getting there. He's in school. He's got what he's going to do. I'm pretty confident about what he's going to do as soon as he graduates. I know exactly what he's going to do. Georgia is ahead of the curve by all of them because Georgia's still in high school and knows what she wants to do, right? She wants to go into this environmental engineering thing, and we have looked at colleges and we have looked at jobs, and I know exactly what Georgia's going to be doing because that's what she wants to do. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. All 3 of those kids are going to be exactly where I want them to be. And I believe that as soon as that happens, there will be a major shift to downsize my home and to move out of Somerset and find a place to live that is exactly what I want or what I need for me and my husband and my mom, if my mom still lives with me, and well, she will be, and to take care of my mother until she is no longer with us, and support my children and their homes and their children. And that's it. That's it. That is all I want to do. This is all great and I love it. And I love the extras. But I believe I will be able to get to a point where I can just downsize completely and just enjoy it. And that's it. There's nothing more than that. Listen, more money, more problems. We don't want to get like, and I will most likely continue to talk about it, whether it's on YouTube or on a website or a podcast, and just talk every day. And that's it. I don't really know. I just basically, my plan is to just go back to my regular everyday life. And that's it. That's my plan. Also, I am going to write, and that's it. And write some more, and go write. Listen, I was writing for a website, and I got paid $500 for an article that took me about 3 hours to write. And I don't like writing for them because they were giving me prompts, and I don't like to write based off of what someone else says. But every single solitary month, they send me prompts and the opportunity to write for them. And I could, if I wanted to. And I know that they're always asking, and I say, no, thank you. It's not a good time for me, but I reserve the right to come back. And I'm sure I could do that and make some serious money. I just look at things a little bit differently now. When is this snow going to be gone? What's the situation? Can somebody check turn to 10 weather? I will do it. Let me pull out the other phone. Let's see, turn to 10. If you didn't listen to Oh, thank you, Lauren. Okay. If you didn't get a chance to listen to Jimmy's show yesterday in the smack in the middle of the day, I just tuned in and listened to him. I commented, then he sent me a link, and then he whored me out and made me do Cartman voice for him. So I just want to let you know, you can go back and listen to it. We read some messages. I was Jason Broyles in the voice of Cartman. Turn to 10 weather. And then I got a text from him overnight. Again, I was nanites, but he was like going back and saying like he thought our interactions were like genuinely funny. I will go back and listen too, but they are. Jimmy's just funny. He's just funny. He makes me funnier. Let's read the weather report together. Latest forecast. Icy spots remain possible this morning as the wet, cold ground and temperatures hovering near freezing combine to produce areas of challenging travel. Areas of fog will no longer linger into the late morning hours today, lifting by this afternoon as temperatures reach the mid to upper 40s under emerging sunshine. We're going to get sunshine today. It's fucking Friday, and it's going to be sunny. That is wrong. They did not update this. What if clouds fill back on Thursday? This is old. Why? Hold on. Clouds fill back in on Thursday with. Did you not update this? Dude, if I just got elevated thinking this afternoon was going to be sunny and it's not sunny, no sunshine today, Kelly. Oh my God, I'm so mad. Weather today. What is the weather? What does everybody use for weather? Hourly forecast for Somerset, weather.com. I don't have a war update yet. What is going on with my phone? And perfect day to be lazy, rest, and get some sleep. The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Just thinking about tomorrow. it says rain, 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 cloudy all day, 6 p.m. cloudy, 21%. Wow, just absolute travesty. Tomorrow, Saturday, cloudy with wind. Cloudy, 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 cloudy. Sunday, cloudy, windy, cloudy, cloudy, cloudy. Wow. 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 Jessica Walsh, just tell us right now, what is going on with you and Broken Baker? You know what? I'm not even going to, let's just ask it right now. What is going on with you and him? Number one, I can only see a couple things at a time. Oh, I can actually pull the chat up on my phone. Let's do that. Let's pull the chat up over here. Idiot. You're so stupid, Jessica. You're such a dumb bitch, Jessica. Okay, now I can see the chat. So I need to know about, here's my first question. Number one, is Broken Baker married? That's the first question. Oh, here she goes. She's talking. 3 weeks he screamed at me about it. About what? Hold on, I gotta scroll up. Hold on. Wait, I missed it. Okay, he's not married. Okay, check. That's all I need to know on that. Let's start. Okay. That's the first question. Second question. Did you have a sexting back and forth with him at all at any point? I asked a question. Did you have a sexting relationship? You promise I'd never answer that. Okay, say no more. Say no more. The answer is yes. Okay, so for the chat, we're navigating through this together in real time. First thing you need to know, what's his first name? What's his first name? Broken. Oh, shit. Okay, so Broken Baker, from what I read, I'm hearing Jess Walsh say that Broken Baker was apparently saying to Jess Walsh that we, as a group, like as a collective group, like as bunnies, we were anti-Semitic because we platformed Cain, and you were defending us to him, and therefore you two had a fight. He was my best friend for like 4 months. We talked every day, and then he lost his mind. Okay, so first things first, I'm the realist. Second thing is we cannot We cannot fight your fight for you. Okay? So there's that. We can't fight your fight for you. But we cannot talk shit about a content creator who I don't have shit with currently. If he doesn't like me anymore because we platform Kane, I didn't know. I also don't care. That's okay. I wish I had known that before I sent all of the bunnies over there and redirected them the other night. But it's okay. I don't listen to his show. I don't listen to his show. I pop in occasionally. He seems like very nice. And so I'm sorry that this war is happening. Lauren Tansey just sent me where she said, we're already at war with Iran. We cannot fight Baker. That is correct. There's no fight to have. Okay. All right. We have your back, but at the same time, we can't get into a war right now. As Lauren said, our war update for Friday is that we already have a war, and so we can't go into this war. It's not enough. And I appreciate that. Like you were defending us. Listen, if by some stretch of the imagination, Broken Baker is calling you names and he's calling you ugly, then you let me know. And then we will take on a sub-side war. But I will not. Jessica, you think everyone should know what he actually thinks of us? What have I taught you? What have I taught you up until this point, Jessica? We don't care. We don't care what people think about us. Thank you for your service. With that being said, we don't care what people think about us. We've created and cultivated a whole ass environment here where we don't care what people say about us. And so please don't fight this war alone. You don't need to, but we can't. We have only limited resources. We only have like 24 Scud missiles. We can't do this right now. So I'm going to send Lauren Tansey over to have peace talks. And she is going to be the Marco Rubio of this situation. And she is going to fix it and de-escalate the situation for all of us, because we can't get into another war. We can't. I'm already fighting a war against Pat Ford's ego. Please. Thank you, Lauren Tansey. You are the Broken Baker ambassador. This would have gone to Ben Rosa, but he is too busy being our mascot here. With that being said, I saw someone say in the chat, because now I have my phone open, that Kirk Minahan show is going to be going live shortly. I don't want to miss that. And as much as I love all of you, I don't want to miss the one time a fucking month that Kirk Minahan blesses us with his voice. And so I'm going to end. It feels appropriate to end at this anyway. Do you remember the rules and what I said? We're not talking about Aaron anymore. I don't want to see any comments in the chat. If 5150 drops more screenshots, so be it. Don't send them to me. I'm blessing and releasing that. I don't really care. Now, am I correct? Aiden is doing his show tonight. Is that correct? Yes or no? I'm waiting to see. Okay, great. Aiden has a show tonight. What time? I might go live later tonight. I'm not really sure. We'll figure it out. Oh, sex cult. Oh, shit. MLF is taking the credit for releasing the text. Listen, that is really great for her. She needs this. She was irrelevant and now she is back to being relevant right now. I love this for her. We are going to pack for a trip. We are going to, am I crazy? But I think I can just do the overhead in my bag. I don't want to overpack. I have never more in my life just wanted to just put one little bag together and call it a day. Thank you, Mermaid 70. I also got some gifts yesterday. I took photos of them. I'm going to post them on a post here on YouTube and in the Bestie Universe group. I don't know if I'll post them on X, but somebody sent me L'Occitane, which is the stuff that Jimmy uses. Bestie made the Garbage Pail Kids stickers into fucking magnets. And I got hair stuff and a little carved little bunny. I took pictures. I will show you. I will send you. You don't have to fight for space overhead. I see what you're saying. I say. I do have access to a washer and dryer in the vacay spot. Yes. Yes. Thank you. All right. Is Kirk on yet? I don't want to. Oh, hi, Nanny Goat. Are you a bunny now? Thank you. Did I show you what I got? I didn't even show you. It's like this rolling overhead, and then on top of it, like it slides on. It's like you're under the seat one, but it's kind of big. Like I don't know. I have no idea. Oh, it's a direct flight. Check a bag. Yeah. How much is it to check a bag with JetBlue? I think Jeff wants to check. And he's going to check his guitar. Kirk's at 10. Oh, so we have 15 minutes. Thank you, Calla Lily 7. No fighting in first class. Plenty of overhead space. Just saying. Listen, cyber chick. First class. You don't even see a stream set up for Kirk. He just does it straight from the Apple podcast, if I'm correct, like the old school days. Go to Apple Podcast, go to KMS, and then it'll be there. If I'm correct. Get first back free with JetBlue card, so I don't know. JetBlue card sounds like you fly often. As you know, I have not done this frequently. Kirk is calling, isn't it? I don't think they do a live stream. Lauren Tansey, have a great day. They better not break Jeff's guitar. Can you imagine? Oh, I don't think he's bringing the good one. I think he's bringing the one I bought him. The poor one. We didn't sing. We didn't sing it all today because I was in a mood, but I did feel compelled I wanted to share this with you. Let me get it. I have a playlist on my YouTube, and I have had my YouTube for so long. So I have all different playlists on here, but I have a playlist, and I'm going to get it. And I'm going to read the songs to you. And then we're going to be done. Let me find it. Okay. It's called Childhood. Now I can't see your comments because I'm off. So I'm just going to tell you all of the songs that are on my childhood playlist. Maybe I will unprivate it and then I will share it with you. But these are the songs I listened to. They're on this playlist. I don't even know how long ago I made it. It's a very long time ago. Okay. And then we're done. Okay. Taylor Dane, Love Will Lead You Back. Belinda Carlisle, I Get Weak. Boy Meets Girl, Waiting for a Star to Fall. Crowded House, Don't Dream It's Over. Till Tuesday, Voices Carry. Chicago, Look Away. Bangles, Eternal Flame. Tiffany, All This Time. Chicago, You're the Inspiration. Dan Hartman, I Can Dream About You. Peter Cetera, Glory of Love. Patti Smith, Sometimes Love Just Ain't Enough. DeBarge, Rhythm of the Night. Heart, These Dreams. The Jets, You Got It All. Amy Grant, Baby Baby. Madonna, Crazy for You. Glenn Frey, You Belong to the City. Vanessa Williams, Save the Best for Last. Patrick Swayze, She's Like the Wind. Peter Gabriel, In Your Eyes. Breathe, How Can I Fall? Whitney Houston, Didn't We Almost Have It All? Survivor, High on You. Go West, King of Wishful Thinking. Richard Marx, Endless Summer Nights. Debbie Gibson, Lost in Your Eyes. Whitney Houston, Greatest Love of All. Def Leppard, Have You Ever Needed Someone So Bad? Concrete Blonde, Joey. George Michael, One More Try. Chicago, Hard to Say I'm Sorry. Timmy T, One More Try. Lisa Cult Jam, All Cried Out. Richard Marx, Right Here Waiting. New Kids on the Block, Please Don't Go Girl. Chris Isaac, Wicked Game. Exposé, Seasons Change. Roxette, It Must Have Been Love. Sinead O'Connor, Nothing Compares to You. Michael Bolton, How Am I Supposed to Live Without You? John Cicada, Just Another Day. Selena, Dreaming of You. Jewel, You Were Meant for Me. Peter Cetera and Cher, After All. Toto, I'll Be Over You. John Waite, Missing You. Extreme, More Than Words. And the Doobie Brothers, What a Fool Believes. This is my playlist that I called it Childhood, and these are my comfort songs. I just thought I would share that with you. I do have a playlist. Hold on. Called Machado Jams. And these are songs that Jeff and I made together for a playlist on a road trip one time. One time, two times. Will I Am, Scream featuring Britney Spears. David Guetta, Little Bad Girl. Bruno Mars, Locked Out of Heaven. Neo, Let Me Love You. Justin Timberlake, Suit and Tie. Rihanna, We Found Love. DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince, Summertime. Zac Brown Band, Chicken Fried. The Killers, Mr. Brightside. Weezer, Buddy Holly. Hoobastank, The Reason. Robin Thicke, Blurred Lines. Drake featuring Lil Wayne, Miss Me. Lil Wayne, Love Me. Pitbull, Time of Our Lives. Rihanna, Kanye West, and Paul McCartney, 4 5 Seconds. Dave Matthews, You and Me. Meghan Trainor, Me Too. Pearl Jam, Corduroy. Amy Winehouse, Rehab. Roy Orbison, I Drove All Night. Charlie XCX, Boom Clap. Family Tree, Kings of Leon. Kings of Leon, Use Somebody. Slightly Stupid, 2 a.m. Pearl Jam, Brain of Jay. Chris Stapleton, Tennessee Whiskey. And Keith Urban, Blue Ain't Your Color. You can obviously tell which songs are mine and which songs are not. Had enough. Might get a little drunk. I say what's on my mind. Run a little time. All of my kindness taken for weakness. Now I'm 4 5 seconds from wildin'. I love this song. More days till Friday. I'm just trying to make it back home by Monday morning. I swear somebody will tell. That's all I want. Woke up an optimist. This is a good song. I love you, Kanye. I miss you. Talking trash. Me back, I'm about to spaz. 4 or 5 seconds from wildin'. 3 more days till Friday. I'm trying to make it back home by Monday morning. I swear somebody would come. Oh, that's all I want. I know the drums tonight. Thinking, how can I be so reckless? Fall back 1,000 times, wondering where I've been. No, tonight. Thinking, how could I be so selfish? But I just can't apologize. Hope you can understand. If I go to jail tonight, promise you pay my bail. But that just ain't up for sale. All right, Kanye, you sing it. I miss you. Okay, anyway, KMS is going live now. Thank you, Callie, for the update. We've got to go. I just got some emails. I'm going to read them. They look very nice. Thanks for letting me go on my valid truth journey. We are purging and releasing it today. Thank you for being a supporter, a fan. We might do a mini live later. I'll let you know. Goodbye.
It's all your favorite Jess Machado songs on one CD. Wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy. Grab my glasses, I'm out the door. I'm gonna hit this city. Before I leave, brush my teeth, say goodbye to Jack. When I leave for Bunny After Dark, I'm not coming back. It's all the hits you've always loved in one place. Just so everyone knows, it's alright because I got Jeff his new guitar. And that's okay, cause my family is the best thing for me. Whether you're singing in the car by yourself or hanging out with your besties, there's a song for everybody. How much is that coffee at Society? Last week it was 50 cents less. How much is that coffee at Society? I don't